Good evening and welcome. This is Father Tommy O'Shea live in Belfast. Tonight I am joined on my left by Bishop Fortnow in Geneva.
Hello.
And on my right by Rabbi Herzog in Tel Aviv.
Well, good evening, Father, and it's a pleasure to have you joining us tonight from Belfast.
Bishop, how's the weather in Geneva?
Excellent, thank you, Father. Yes, it's been 34, and we're just concluding our One World Interfaith Conference up here at Co Castle. It's remarkable. Wish you both were here.
Rabbi, happy Purim to you and your family.
Well, thank you, Father, and it's a great pleasure to be here tonight on Al Jazeera, as we are carrying on a tradition started in Seattle in the 1960s, a show created by Rabbi Raphael Levine and Father William Treacy. Oh, and Bishop Fortnow, how was the One World Conference in Geneva?
Well, Rabbi, yes, it was a wonderful interfaith conference in Geneva. I'm happy to report, too, that some years ago I had the pleasure of knowing both Rabbi Levine and also Father Treacy, who founded the original Challenge program in the 60s. It went on the air each Sunday night at 6 p.m. prime time to some 300,000 viewers on average in Seattle's population of only 500,000. So it was immensely popular, breaking all records, and for it to run for 14 years, 700 plus programs, shows you what the hunger and thirst for interfaith dialogue was back in the 60s. And Father Treacy sends his best wishes now, at age 94, from Camp Brotherhood, which was begun as an outreach interfaith camp retreat from the Challenge program. And he says that he believes that the time is ripe again for just such a program to resume. Let's hear it from Father Treacy directly.
I say that
To do this again?
the harvest is ripe.
The harvest is ripe.
I've seen many people come here, Neal, and thank me and said, we're so grateful you established this place. It's a vision, it's a light in darkness. It's a home for the whole human family. And this is true. We brought Protestants and Catholics from Belfast, Northern Ireland, to sit down and talk with each other. Came to the conclusion almost that they're getting as pre-teens. We have a pre-teen group scheduled for next August. Palestinians, Israelis, and Christians.
Wonderful.
So this comes from the vision of what we did, and the conviction. I believe, as I said, the harvest is ripe for this. It's just a question of somebody would have the vision Mr. Warren had at KOMO. That's why this building, main building here, is named after him. He gave that half hour, otherwise you wouldn't be here today. He gave that half hour on TV that started this revolution going on. And so I hope that Al Jazeera or somebody else with a vision will take up that same idea to promote peace and unity in the human family.
And Bishop Fortnow, you were telling me a fantastic story while we were drinking tea over Skype this morning.
Yes, it was up in Rome after the group, the Challenge Tour group, had moved from the holy city of Jerusalem up to Rome, where they were standing in front of the basilica when Rabbi Levine, who was apologizing for wearing a hat, but he said he had a cold and he was not being disrespectful, he just had to protect himself. But he revealed some interesting things to Father Treacy about how he felt being in front of the basilica then, just shortly after the Pope made it possible for Catholics to even speak to Jews. Let's hear it.
I feel in this place that this is really hallowed ground, because I see here the great tradition, Father, that has made you what you are. I've gone a great deal from the time that I remember when the word Christ and Christian were utterly anathema to me, where they were symbols of fear, symbols of tragedy, symbols of persecution. And here to stand here after Pope John of blessed memory opened the windows of the church on the world and gave us all a better insight into what the church represents and is trying to do. And what I have experienced since I've been here on this visit, meeting with the group on interfaith activities and realizing how serious they are how earnest they are to try to get us to understand them, how they're willing to admit the mistakes that they have made, and how they are willing to recognize that we are all really brothers in spite of our differences in theology, that we are striving for the same goal. And so standing here in the center of Christendom, I feel very much at home.